All right, let's talk about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens here, who were really just dominant on Christmas afternoon, destroying the Texans. They did give the Texans their only 2 points with a safety, but other than that, this was an incredible day by the guy who probably should win MVP at this point. I don't know. It's difficult because Burrow's played so well as well. I think I would still lean Lamar as of right now, but it's close. But let's talk about what he's doing so effectively, starting off with a play like this. I mean, his mobility, we should talk about. It's something where I almost feel there's always this pushback with Lamar of like, oh, he's not just a running back, he can throw. Like, yeah, of course he can throw. Anyone who's actually paying attention knows that. The running is unbelievable. And let's start off with this play. So you see the edge rusher right here. Watch as when Lamar takes the snap, going for more of an inside move, this edge rusher is, and the play's over. You just can't do it. You can't go for an inside move against a tackle when you're playing Lamar Jackson. It's going to, either you need to get there right away or it's going to end poorly. As you see, Lamar just instantly says, okay, cool, I'm here. And it's interesting where a lot of other quarterbacks would still be in trouble here. The other defensive linemen for Houston are playing this part pretty well. They're in pursuit, trying to make sure that, hey, let's not give him a ton of yards to scramble. He's outside the pocket, can look down the field, but that's all he should be able to do. But he's Lamar Jackson, and he's just different than even most mobile quarterbacks. Watch him just take off. He accelerates past both of those two Houston players and picks up a ton of yards. Kind of gets bumped out of bounds there, but still, an incredible play there by Lamar Jackson to pull that off. And these are just the kind of things he does consistently. Like this one, another example, I think the Ravens offensive line sometimes block in a way where they know who they're blocking for. So this time it's going to be for this one, it's actually not even an offensive lineman. It's the fullback on this play who's lined up kind of as an extra offensive lineman. Watch as when this play begins. Patrick Ricard, that's the fullback. You see him here, doing a pretty good job for one thing. But the edge rusher for Houston, at this point, going more towards the top of the screen. And again, it's difficult because you almost have to bull rush if you're really going to beat Lamar. Because the second you start going towards the inside, again, Lamar knows what he can do. And Ricard, to his credit, knows who he's got behind him and knows how to block for him. You see Lamar, again, one of the things I love about Lamar too is when he gets outside the pocket, he doesn't have to scramble. Obviously he can. Obviously he's amazing at it. But he will look down the field and he will fire down the field if something gets open. Here, something has gotten open. And as you see, really well done by Lamar Jackson. And again, these are just plays that most quarterbacks don't give you, right? It takes a very special kind of quarterback to make this happen, and Lamar Jackson is certainly that. Also, this play, the designed quarterback run, is very fun. I've kind of touched on this in an earlier video where I was actually talking about Derrick Henry and how the threat of Lamar essentially gives them an extra blocker. Well, it does the same thing in a play like this, where honestly, this kind of goes to show the threat of Derrick Henry. I feel like I do the thing where every time I talk about a Derrick Henry run, I give credit to Lamar, and every time I talk about a Lamar run, I give credit to Derrick Henry. Well, let's give credit to both of them, I suppose. So they're going to fake a handoff to Henry here. You see I've circled an edge rusher for Houston. Watch what he's going to do. As you see, Lamar does not actually hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, but you see that edge rusher, it's Will Anderson Jr. too, by the way, a good player. He's completely fooled by this. He's trying to get up to try and make a tackle on Derrick Henry. The only issue is you can tackle him all he wants. He doesn't have the football. Lamar continues running. This is the well-blocked play. The closest unblocked player is now the one who I have circled in black right here. That's the safety. He also was going up towards the top of the screen to pay attention to Derrick Henry. So, again, having these two guys, it's so deadly, especially when Lamar is just so fast, because now he can just blow by everybody. You can't get fooled that badly against Lamar Jackson or you're giving up a 48-yard touchdown. But, how do you not get fooled that badly when there's Derrick Henry on the other side of the field? It's just unstoppable. And these were the things that when Henry joined the Ravens, we were thinking could be a factor. And, yeah, they are a factor for sure. Also, something like this. So this is going to be a man coverage play here. So, okay, one-on-one matchups across the board. Lamar is going to take the snap. There's a pressure that kind of gets through. Lamar's in trouble. And here's the other side of the coin for Lamar. It's not just scrambles or getting outside the pocket. Sometimes it's avoiding sacks. Watch him get around that sack, and now he is able to get outside the pocket. And again, like I said, will look down the field. Doesn't just have to scramble. A lot of quarterbacks would have just scrambled, could have gained some yards, but hey, Mark Andrews is open further down the field, and not just that. But this ball is so well thrown, Andrews can continue running after the catch, and look at him go, too. He's got some wheels. He's able to not get quite into the end zone, but gets a ton of yards as well. And again, they're able to get that big field-flipping play. And that's one of the things we've seen from Baltimore this year, is just how consistently they get those field-flipping plays, which is what they're able to do here. So now let's go over here. So, okay, if you're Houston, what do you try to do to counter this? I mean, it's so difficult to stop, right? What are some things you can do to try and stop it? Well, we've seen teams in the past have some success against the Ravens running this coverage. It's a cover one blitz, which essentially makes sense, right? You're sending pressure, which makes it harder for Lamar to get outside the pocket, so he can't really do anything there. And then there's a blitz, so he has to get rid of the football quickly. Of course, it's putting more stress on your secondary, but usually the receiving core of the Ravens isn't their strength, so you're okay with that. Well, that is the route that the Ravens are going to look towards. It's Derrick Henry's route. And since the safety covering him, who's, again, they're not showing that this is going to be a blitz, it's a disguise, so he's not in great position to defend against this route. When Lamar Jackson takes the snap, he reads the coverage well, quickly flips it to Henry, and as of right here, I mean, you have a defender going over trying to make the tackle, but he's far out of position because that's not how the scheme is designed to work. As you see, Lamar hits Henry. Henry runs forward. They're able to pick up a big gain and get further down the field. So again, these little things. This one almost feels like a small play compared to some of the other stuff. It was still like a 10+ yard play. It's really good stuff. And we can go over here too because we should. I want to talk about this as well. Lamar can just be a good pocket passer. Like I kind of talked about earlier, how we should talk about the good stuff, the fact that he is so mobile and how much that matters. But like he can just do stuff like this, where it's a play action, you have a receiver running over the middle. Again, this was something that we saw the Titans run all the time when they had Derrick Henry. It's even more powerful when you have Lamar Jackson as well. But anyway, Lamar runs the play action, and every team runs this to some degree. But when Lamar fires, I mean, Houston's ready for it, right? They know this is a concept that the Ravens are going to try and run. It's early in the game. They're prepared. There is not a huge window, but again, Lamar is a really good just pocket quarterback. As you see, puts it right on the money. Flowers does a great job at getting nearly to the end zone, but still gets a big chunk play there. So yeah, I mean, really good stuff here by Lamar and by the Ravens. And for Lamar, I mean, listen, I think it's fair to say this Ravens team isn't quite as good as it was last year. I mean, the defense certainly has taken a step back, but this offense is just a buzzsaw right now. I know everyone's going to say it, and it's a fair thing to say. We can't be too optimistic until they show they can get it done in the playoffs, because they've had the occasional good playoff game, but then usually haven't had a great playoff run. Only one conference championship, and in that game, they didn't play their best game of football against the Chiefs, so they need to have a good run. They do. But, I mean, they're peaking at the right time, and you have to feel optimistic about how you're playing as of right now. If you're a Ravens fan, I guess just hope you don't play the Raiders in the playoffs or something. I don't know, because that was a weird game. But, yeah, those are my thoughts on all of this. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.